Once again, A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitan. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Yes, story Ya Sayyidi. Asking Madad from Maulana Shaykh Hisham, and through him to Maulana Shaykh Nazim and Grand Shaykh, up to Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and for their sake, the help of Awliya, seen or unseen, as Prophet used to say, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. A'inuna ya'nillah fil bilad min al-insi wal jinn. May the people of this area, people of Allah, seen or unseen, from humans or jinns, or seen or unseen ones, help us. Asking to follow our Shaykh up to the goal, up to the divine presence. It's a fine line, and we're so weak, it's difficult to, unless he makes it easy, it's difficult to do. We can't be like them. No one can be Shaykh Nazim, no one can be Shaykh Hisham. They're skies. If you think same as your Shaykh, or a little bit more, can't be. Heba is lost, and guidance is lost. We left to ourselves, and then pity for us. So asking, Allah, 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 Aziz, Allah. You are our Lord, and all of us are your weak servants. The heading always Tarikatuna. Did you memorize the Persian? What's Tarikatuna asahba wa khayru fi jamia in Persian?
Same thing, tariqa.
Tarikatuna asked, Sahbat asked something. Tarikatuna asahba wa khayru fi jamia. Dar Shahat asked, Prophet asked. Everything you do, not for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for people, or for another purpose, has its own coronavirus built in. Destroys our good deeds. What we do not for the sake of Allah has a poison with it. And we're asking to be away from that. And asking to be away from our weakness. What's our weakness? I was listening to Maulana Shaykh Nazim today, Sahba from some years ago. We're coming to celebrate or lament, more like it, his verse of his passing. 6 years going to be on Tuesday or Thursday. It was in some ways a disaster for this world when someone like that passes away. There is a hadith that when Quran was finished being revealed, it took 23 years to come, ayat by ayat, until it was finished. Jibreel was bringing to Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And when the last verse came, what was the last verse of Holy Quran? Today I completed your religion. After that last verse came, Prophet asked Jibreel, now Quran is complete. Are you coming back? He said, according to the way I heard the hadith, yes. coming back, but now to take knowledge, not to bring anymore. Quran's going to disappear? No, it's here. We sent the message and it's protected. But Jibreel informed Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, although Prophet knows already, that people who have the deep secrets of Holy Quran, the knowledge of it, is going to pass away one by one, with nobody to, less and less people to fill the void, to be able to carry that. So when someone like Maulana Shaykh Nazim goes from this life, it's a disaster for this world. Mostly unmentioned. They're talking for every other kind of disaster. That was a big disaster for this world. But good tidings, he said, perhaps my sword is sharper from the other side. So his help can reach. We're asking to reach his holy God method. Though we can't be like him. We can't, like looking at the ocean from a distance, not even putting our foot in, how you can be the ocean. And Mawla Shaykh Hashem, same thing. His knowledge is ocean. Madad Ya Sayyidi. He's our door. And we can't leave him. Madad. Madad. Through his holy heart come so many blessings and lights. What were we saying before we spoke for the Urs? Well, Shaykh Hashem, he was describing to us how was Shaykh Nazim at the end of his life on earth, his dunya life. He got very sick, maybe 2 years before his going to meet his Lord, and people thought he passed away, and he came back from that. He regained his soul. Came back, Subhanallah, Subhanallah, Nabi Muhammad alayhi salam. Subhanallah, Subhan to Allah, my Lord is Allah, my Prophet is Sayyidina Muhammad. He said, I was crushed down to the lowest, tightest point, and that came to support him. Nothing left to say except my Lord is Allah, my Prophet is Muhammad, Subhan to him. He came back, and people were happy that he's with us still. But his situation was different after that. He entered a period, you say hal, a state, an unusual state, not his as he was before. And he used to use Sahbat only mentioning the name of Shah Mardan, Sayyidina Ali. Karimallahu wajhah. He never spoke about him before. In 40 years I didn't say anything, maybe one. He would say, Ya Shah Mardan. Shah Mardan, one of Sayyidina Ali's holy names, he is the field marshal. The Maidan is like the battlefield. He's the field marshal overlooking that battlefield. The battlefield of Haqq versus Batil, of truth versus falsehood, of belief versus unbelief. The battlefield if someone intends to fight their ego and move even one step following Prophet ﷺ, just he entered that war and he's field marshal for that, overlooking the battlefield. Shah Mardan. we can't say anything for him. That level is so far beyond us. We don't know. But Maulana Shaykh entered into a hal in connection with his holy soul. And for 2 years, or give or take, his soft was only Ya Shah Mardan. Hey Yaran Shah Mardan. All the beloved ones of Shah Mardan. Who's those beloved ones? Allah knows. He would split. He could go 1 hour saying nothing, no other words than that. How beautiful, how wonderful. Oh, Shah Mardan, Shah Mardan. Sometimes he would cry also. And the Murids were confused. What is that? We never heard like that before from our Shaykh. Another Shaykh said after the janazah that he was uploading or downloading the secrets, his secret, and the secrets of all the Murids to Sayyidina Shah Mardan. And he didn't pass from, it's not something that can be done in 1 day, he said. 2 years it took, bit by bit. It's a huge burden, a huge file on a computer you want to download. Now they have gigabytes and I don't know what's the highest one they have now. What's beyond gigabytes? Petrobytes? What's beyond that? No one knows. Zuckerbyte. Zettabytes. Might be like that. A huge file, a huge amanat. I'm taking these words from Shaykh Hashem. It's not my words. I don't know anything about it. I'm one of those watching. What's Shah Mardan? What's he say? What he said tonight. He said Shah Mardan for 1 hour and a half. And we're wondering what, and crying. Shaykh Hashem said to us, he didn't leave dunya until he uploaded all the amanat, the trusts and secrets of all his murids, present and past and future, to Shah Mardan, to safekeeping. If Allah wants to give a grant, where does he put it? It's going to be safe. Nothing in dunya is safe. Dunya, everything in dunya, connected with dunya, is prone to problems, prone to decay, prone to the tricks of shaitan, prone to misunderstandings. Safety is through Allah. In that situation, like that. And he said, it's not permitted for someone to speak about Imam Mahdi alayhi salam, to speak about that situation. Only he said that the time of Mahdi is coming, and prior to that time, everything is going towards him and closing down that Wi-Fi. So now only Naqshbandi is still open from 41 Turuq, Tariqas, and even that is close to a stream now. We close the faucet to a slow, not coming fountains anymore, as it was before. This is our situation. And therefore, Grand Sheikh, Allah bless him, said to us that Grand Sheikh Abdul Haqq, Allah bless him, said, now we entered into the time of Hilm. Hilm means to be able to carry it, to bear it. Forbearance. As Sayyidina Isa said to his followers, if a person slap you from here, give this one. You have to bear it. Shaykh Hashem told the story of there was a bandit, a tough guy. He went to one of the grand sheikhs, I don't remember which one, Ubayla Ahrari or one of the big grand sheikhs of Naqshbandi, and he took him for a training into the garden, and he gave him a stick and to beat that apple tree. There was a huge apple tree, an old one. Strike it. He struck it and 10 apples fell down. He said, you see, if you want to follow me, you have to be like that. Someone strike you, you have to give 10 blessings back. All prophets were giving benefit for harm. How far away we are from them. How far away we are. They were always looking to the Lord. So we're trying to follow. Grand Sheikh said, it's the time for him to bear everything coming, and as much as you can. And they asked, what happens when we get to the end of our patience? He said, go more. This is what our job now. We have to do like that. It's very difficult. All of us human beings are always in a struggling in ourselves, struggling in our families, struggling in our communities. Nations are struggling against each other. It's the nature of our life. Allah says fighting is prescribed for you. You don't like it, but it's ordered for you. You have to struggle. It's not only for war, it's every kind. Human beings, when our grandfather Sayyidina Adam, peace be upon him, came to earth, began that struggling. He said, when Mawlana Sheikh Hashem said this story, and so did Mawlana Sheikh Nazim before him, and probably Grand Sheikh said it also. When Sayyidina Adam, our grandfather, all of us come from the same father and mother, all humanity. When he came to earth, he landed in Jeddah or Sri Lanka. He landed in Jeddah. He took us to Arafat, and he pointed to that mountain. It's made of a low mountain with big boulders. And the Imam, he said, this is where the children of Adam were drawn out from the backbone of Adam. And looking at that mountain, he said, it looks like a huge backbone that sat there for 6,000 years. It happened in, Allah knows where it happened. Alma Arwah, soul's world. Alastu bi rabbikum, qalu bala. Am I not your Lord? And we said yes, not with our bodies, with our souls. Adam alayhi salam, he lands in Sri Lanka, on earth, Serendip. And he was crying after he fell from paradise. It was for a reason. Prophets don't do anything without divine order. They're masumi, infallible. No one else. Prophets are on the perfect rank. What they do is to show something, to demonstrate something, to teach something. They follow the divine command. He came to earth. He was crying and asking Allah forgiveness. 300 years, every tear became one jewel. That's why Sri Lanka, Ceylon is famous for its diamonds and rubies. And then he looked around to see what's the situation on earth. They say at first earth was barren until he landed, and then it became green. He's looking around, and he said, okay, we're here. At least everything for me. If you're alone on earth, mashallah, okay. It's lonely, but at least you can be Sultan. Inshallah. Allah subhanahu. He hadn't started looking for Eve yet. No. He's looking. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent another one down. Shaitan, Iblis, to begin the struggle. Allah said, get you down, all of you, with struggling between you. Shaitan came to Sayyidina Adam, alayhi salam. The Shaykh was saying, I'm intending to destroy every Shaitan, cut all their heads. We're intending to make Haqq up and Batil destroyed. We have not even 1 watt of power, not zettawatt or gigabyte. But on Maulana's intention, we're intending even very weakly to follow. Sayyidina Adam saw Iblis approaching. Said, there's another one here? Who are you? And he said, I'm here also. You're here. But this earth for me? No, it's for both of us. Huh. Okay, well there has to be a border then. You on your side, me on my side. Okay. Iblis took a rock and put it. That's your side, it's my side. Sayyidina Adam looked. You put the rock on my side. It goes back that way more. The whole world is empty, there's 1 rock. It's the boundary. What do you mean? You heard me, you put the rock on it? No, that's mine. No, and they begin to fight. They're wrestling with each other. Iblis has an unusual power. He puts Sayyidina Adam down. One Shaykh said with his foot, Adam was pushing the rock back the other way. This is the condition on earth.
Allah.
The earth is populated. There's somebody else always. Fastabiqul khair. Fastabiqul khair. We are ordered to compete with each other in goodness, not in enmity, in goodness. Each one, Sayyidina Abu Bakr, Sayyidina Ali, used to try to outdo each other in good deeds. And the Sahaba used to do like that with each other, and we have to try our best. Allahumma salli wa sallam wa barak ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Sayyid awwalin wal akhirin. Sayyidina Abu Bakr said to Prophet, because I'm fearing to speak sometimes. He went to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and said, Ya Rasulullah, I know, or I believe, as you told us, people are going to be punished for their bad deeds, for their sins and mistakes. What about only for the things we say that we don't do it? Just we say, it's just air. And Prophet is reported to have said to Sayyidina Abu Bakr, "Oh Abu Bakr, if people knew what kind of harm comes from their words, they would put rocks in their mouth not to speak." And Abu Bakr actually did that. He put pebbles or rocks in his mouth not to speak, and he was the best one to speak. Thaniel's name, the second of 2 in the cave. La tahzan in Allah ma'ana. Don't fear, Allah is with us. And he said, wisdom is 10 parts, 9 of them is silent. Mostly silent. In the old days, from what I can understand from reading, the Naqshbandi way was silent mostly. We used to do with Maulana Shaykh silent zikr. We had our tasbih, or we had few beads or beans or pebbles, whatever we had, and he would call out the keys, shadowing like astaghfirullah. Sometimes Qadris are doing like that. They have a big pile of fava beans or something, and they're doing their khatim. Better to keep quiet. And how many times Shaykh Hashem said to us that Maulana told him if something happened 2 hours before, I don't want to hear any more about it. But Maulana, no. He said, I want to go to Maulana Shaykh. He said, Maulana make himself like a mountain. We have to come back to ourselves. This is the situation. May Allah grant us good understanding. May make us all fatasimu bihablillahi jami'a wa tafarraqu. Hold all of us to the rope of Maulana Shaykh. And do our best. Forgive each other and mercy each other. And try our best to move on the goal. We're all of us faced with our egos. We're trying to fight that bad ego. And that ego is difficult. If you step on its tail, it bites. All of us have that tail. Step on it, and Shaykh steps on it, and we're asking to put that ego down under our feet, as Muhammad used to say, and keep the best ways with each other. May Allah make everyone reach to the highest stations in divine presence. We're intending to follow the main way of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, leading to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Amin wa tawfiq. Anything else to say? Plenty, but we're not going to say any more. Fatih. Because they put this coffee and ask you to drink that, not to speak. And Allah grant us a good understanding.
Amen.
That weakness. We left out an important point. Everyone has a weakness through our egos. One of its pieces of equipment is the thing we think is the best thing about ourselves. He used to say, Shaykh Hashem used to say, and Maulana Shaykh Nazim used to say before him, that people have jealousy with each other for everything. He got a better car than me, he got a better job, he got a better wife, he got a better money, he got a better something. Except for one thing. Brains, mind. Every one of us thinks, MashaAllah, how it happened. It's a miracle. I got the best one and no one else got anything. That I got the best one and the others get nothing for anything. I was the only one given mine. I can't, how it happened. All of us thinks like that. Our ego thinks like that. And it's a weakness for us. We have in our mind something and might not be correct understanding. On Shaykh, I was listening today, he used, if you have a cup of milk, pure milk, you put some dirty in it, it spoils the whole milk, you have to throw it. Our mentality is not perfect. Shaitan blows there. Wow. And there's another imaginations and suppositions and fantasy and all kinds of things. No reality to it. But it's from our mind, we love it. And you can't break it out. Wars fight over that. You come against what I thought in my mind, I'll kill you for that. But it's like that. We're asking to, there's an area beyond mind. We're asking to reach that through all these means. Through praying and salat and zikr and Quran and muraqabah and fasting. To try to come to open the doors of our hearts to get that real presence. That we're far away from that. Not to stop short and stake our not to stake our claim on dunya. We say risky claim. It's going to be destroyed. Don't. Shaykh Nazim used to say to me, you can think whatever you want, good thoughts or bad thoughts. He came the first time I met him. I was new. I came, I never saw anything like him before, or I was sitting, and some imaginations came into my mind. I thought, oh, he sees I'm going to pass away in an hour or two, few hours. Someone is going to murder me, and they're just trying to, and he said to them, well, nothing we could do, make him happy for an hour or so. What can we do? Poor guy. They gave me some tea, and drinking the tea like that, I can hardly drink it. Some soup. And like a basket case. I'm thinking, you see, and Shaykh was talking to this one, and it just reinforces it in my mind. See? Finally, he turned to me. It was my first real encounter with his presence. He said, you can think all kinds of thoughts. What? Good thoughts or bad thoughts? He said, don't sign it. You understand? Don't sign it. Just because you thought it, don't say this is true. Truth has to be tahqiq, to be verified. We didn't reach that station of heart to verify as Prophet and Sayyidina Abu Bakr and Sayyidina Ali and the grandchildren. Like watching the waves on the beach, coming and going. Sometimes big ones, sometimes small ones. Leave it until the doors of our hearts are going to open. May Allah make that day to be soon. May Allah make us to do everything we need to do from Holy Sharia to reach to that open. To reach Shaykh Muhyiddin's dua, Rabbi habli istidadan kamilan li kabuli faydika. Grant me the perfect preparation to be able to receive. Make me to do everything in my power I can do, and to you what to do to open it, to be able to carry it. That's our important job. Don't lose sight of that job. We're going to our perfection. We have to look for that. Fatiha. Ameen. Shukran. Assalamu alaikum. We have to say before we start, Assalamu alaikum. Salam qabla kalam. Salam ba'da kalam. Reach the opposite.